I am a Black American and I absolutely love to travel to the continent of.
This is for the African Americans who think exactly like her, because I know it's not all of you. Whenever you decide to buy a ticket and visit another country, predominantly Africa or the Caribbean, can you please make sure to leave that stereotypical mindset that was inflicted upon you by these white people that oppressed you at the door before you enter? And if you can't do that, simply don't go. Girl went to Africa and someone got injured. Oh my God, someone got injured. Someone's phone got stolen. Oh my God, someone's phone got stolen. Sweetheart, you are from a country where a teenager can go to Walmart and buy a gun. America has the highest number of serial killers. You are from a country where when a white teenager feels depressed, he goes and shoots up a school. You are from a country where people who look exactly like you get murdered in broad daylight with all the evidence to show that they were actually murdered and never get any justice. So please explain to me how you can boldly acknowledge crime or incidents elsewhere, but you can't notice it in your own backyard. So crazy to me how the Western world have conditioned and convinced themselves and the people in their community to believe that crime exists everywhere else apart from the Western world. No, because let me do this again. Did people not die at Ariana Grande's concert in Manchester, England? Did Kim Kardashian not get robbed at gunpoint in Paris? And yet you still only acknowledge that crime exists in Africa? Some of these people are the same ones who will come on social media and make these stereotypical jokes about Africa, about the fact that Africa doesn't have any water. Meanwhile, Michigan don't have none neither. You lot will come on this app and stay shouting about how they live in mud huts and how they live in trees, but will never take a moment to look at the statistics of homelessness in LA and New York. People like you will come on this app and stay preaching and talking about how impoverished and poor and disadvantaged and how sad it is to be African and live in Africa because of how Africa is. Meanwhile, you're getting oppressed in your own country. Believe it or not, it's the same way when some of them go to the Caribbean. And you know, funny enough, same thing happens in Jamaica. Same thing. If you ever travel to Jamaica, just make friends with one of the staff at the hotel and ask them the worst guests who visit, and they will boldly tell you African Americans. And you wonder why some Caribbeans and Africans simply just don't like some of you. Because you lot come here and stay in other people's business and stay talking shit, knocking your cent against somebody else's dollar. You lot can really stay at the land of the free that ain't free. You really can stay there. Nobody's begging to carry your bag and come. Do you understand? Don't buy tickets. Stay home. Good night.
So I want to talk about an issue that I find very offending to Africans. Yes, Africans, I find this offending because when African Americans are moving to the continent, they are coming with some loaded expectations that are not reality. You know, many times you are told when you leave the United States, you move to Africa, you're not moving back. You're not moving back to where you are living. It's a different place. It's different from where you are. Here we are underdeveloped, so you have to adapt to that. Don't come complaining about the roads. Don't come complaining about things you find that are not fitting your beliefs. Just come here accepting that Africa is a country that is growing. Africa is a continent that is growing. Africa is a place that it's not a long time since we got our independence, you know, and many people really don't remember this, and they don't acknowledge, you know, the United States is like 500 years or maybe 400 years ahead of Kenya, ahead of Africa. For example, the first African country to get its independence was Ghana, and that was up until 1950s, 1954, 53, somewhere around that place, when Kwame Nkrumah led the party to independence. But United States, yes, it was colonized by the British, but it got its independence in 1775. So tell me, between 1775 and 1950s, how many years is that? It's close to 200 years. You see, Africa has not had that space to grow yet. First of all, we have many challenges facing us. We have corrupt leaders, we have underdevelopment, we have illiteracy, but the same things you are expecting that if you move to Africa, you won't have these challenges. You know, if Africa was given the same opportunities that United States had, then at least you have the grounds to complain. But now, I really don't think you have the grounds to complain. Right now, it's just time you come and you be the change. Be the change to the Africans. You don't come here complaining. And also, not all place in Africa is as you thought that, or is as you think, you know. Some places are rich, some places are poor, you know. Also in the United States, just like the sister said, there is the highest rate of crime. The highest rate of crime in the whole world is in the United States. Yes, over there is where you will find going to buy a gun. It's like going to buy a bread in a shop. In Kenya, let me use Kenya as an example of the African countries. Buying a gun is a privilege to only a group of people. Not anyone can get a gun. But in the United States, as long as you are 17 years and above, you can get a gun. Tell me, why are you complaining about insecurity? Why are you complaining about theft? Why are you complaining about being robbed? While where you are coming from, this is the norm. Don't you think that's pretense? Yeah, but let's, Africans, we are not trying to do away with our problems. No, we are not trying to do we are trying not, I'm even not trying to wipe the problems of Africa away. But I'm trying to say, let Africa be. Let Africa be Africa, let the United States be the United States. If you want that change that you're asking, then I think it's time you come here and you bring the change. Mahatma Gandhi, when he led the independence of India from the British, the same British, he said that we be the change we want to see. So you as an African American wants to come to Africa, be the change you want to see. Don't complain. Africa is underdeveloped. We are growing, but let us be. Let us just be. Also, another issue is when you come to Africa, there's a very huge opportunity for you to come and grow. Yeah, you can come here and grow. It's not like the United States. Here you can have a very huge farm where you can do your agriculture. But over there, it's really hard. Where will you do your agriculture? Places, we just have buildings everywhere in the United States. But Africa, we offer you that opportunity. Come, do agriculture, you can buy cheap lands. We have cheap houses, we have cheap this and this. At least look at the bright side of things. Just look at the bright side of things. Things you'd only get in Africa, but never ever get them in the United States of America. This is Africa, and Africans will love you. I hope one day you recognize that and you start acting accordingly. Yes.